another Odd and Unexplained. Today we're going to talk about the MV Joyita, a 69-foot wooden ship that was built in 1931 by Wilmington Boat Works. It was built for Roland West, an early Hollywood film director. His films included The Monster with Lon Chaney and The Bat, among others. The ship was named after his first wife, Jewel Carmen. Joyita is Spanish, meaning little jewel. When she was built, the hull was 2-inch thick cedar on oak frame. She was 69 feet exactly with a 17-foot beam, which is the width. Joyita had a draft of 7 feet 6 inches. Net tonnage was 47 tons and her gross tonnage approximately 70 tons. The ship was acquired by the Navy in October 1941. It was sold to the Louis brothers in 1948. This is important because at this point the ship was lined with cork and given refrigeration units. In 1952, the vessel finally came into ownership of Dr. Catherine Lumala, a professor at the University of Hawaii. She chartered the boat to a friend, Thomas H. Miller. He used the boat for 3 years for fishing and trading up until October 1955. At 5 a.m. on October 3, 1955, Joyita left for the Tokelau Islands from Apia Harbor in Samoa. The journey is about 270 miles. So the boat had been scheduled to leave on the noontide of the previous day, but the trip departure was set back due to a failure of the port engine's clutch. Joyita ended up leaving with one functioning engine. So, to the best of my research, the weather was apparently clear that night with possible light rain the next day. So aboard the Joyita, there were 16 crew members and 9 passengers, with 2 of them being small children. The cargo consisted of medical supplies, timber, 80 empty 45-gallon oil drums, and food. So aboard the ship was actually a World War II surgeon named Alfred Andy Dennis Parsons, and he was on his way to perform an amputation. Basically, the voyage was expected to take between 41 and 48 hours, and was scheduled to return from the Tokelau Islands with a load of copra, which is the fruit of coconut palm. On October 6th, a message from Fakaufo Port reported that the ship was overdue. No one had reported receiving a distress signal from the Joyita, and a search and rescue mission was launched. From October 6th to October 12th, the New Zealand Air Force searched about 100,000 square miles of ocean. There was no trace of the Joyita found. On November 10th, 5 weeks later, Captain Gerald Douglas of a ship named the Tuvalu had sighted Joyita more than 600 miles west from her scheduled route, drifting north of Vanuatu. Joyita was found listing heavily to the port side. The port rails were submerged. There were no crew or passengers on board. The 4 tons of cargo were also missing. The radio was tuned to 2182 kHz, the International Marine Radio Telephone Distress Signal, so it appears that they were trying to call for help. There were barnacles growing high on the port side, which seems to tell us that the Joyita had been listing for a good amount of time. There was some damage to the superstructure. Her flying bridge had been smashed away, and the deckhouse had light damage and broken windows. A canvas awning had been rigged on top of the deckhouse behind the bridge, which seems to suggest that they were taking shelter from the rain or weather. Her dinghy and 3 life rafts were missing. Also, Joyita did not have enough life jackets for everyone on board. The starboard engine was found to be covered with mattresses, and the port engine still had a faulty clutch. The radio equipment upon inspection was shown to have a break in the cable that had been painted over due to bad maintenance, limiting the range of the radio to about 2 miles. The electric clocks on board, wired into the vessel's generator, had stopped at 10:25, and the switches for the cabin lighting and navigation lights were on, implying that whatever had occurred happened at night. The ship's logbook, sextant, mechanical chronometer, and other navigational equipment, as well as the firearms Miller kept in the boat, were missing. A doctor's bag was found on board containing a stethoscope, a scalpel, and 4 lengths of blood-stained bandages. So, deduced from the amount of fuel used, assuming Joyita stayed on her destined course, it seems she would have been about 50 miles from her destination of Tokelau. It was found that a pipe in the raw water circuit of the engine's cooling system had failed due to galvanic corrosion, allowing water into the bilges. When the Navy owned the ship many years prior, the Joyita had ran aground, causing a good amount of damage. They used galvanized iron for the pipes in the repair job instead of copper or brass. The crew would not have even known about the leak until water raised above the floorboards in the engine room, and by that time making the leak very difficult to locate while at sea. The bilge pumps had no strainers and had become clogged, making it hard to pump out flooding water. An auxiliary pump had been rigged in the engine room, mounted on a plank of wood slung between the main engines. However, it had not been connected. No sign of the people or cargo were ever found. The Joyita changed ownership in 1956 and was put back on the ocean that same year. So yeah, that was pretty strange. What do you guys think happened? Pirates, mutiny, the weather? Let me know in the comments. This is Sabrina with Odd and Unexplained.